This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
All of this in just a bit.
Yeah.
But as we do on this show, Dennis wants to share today's proverb. We'd love to get your interpretation of it.
So today we are in Sierra Leone, a beautiful country with a lot of resources. We talk about titanium, gold, diamond, fish that continue to push the country's economy.
Yeah.
But from them as well, we have a proverb.
Yeah.
The mouth that eats salt must also drink water. How would you interpret that?
That the mouth that eats salt must also
Drink water.
drink water. That if based on what I do, I'd interpret it as someone that is in a position of leadership should also ensure that things go well.
You can taste it.
Or in the middle of problems, or if you're dealing with problems, you should also
Offer a solution.
yes, find solutions. So that's it.
Fantastic.
So that point, water becomes your solution to the
Exactly.
task.
Yeah.
If there's salt, find the water.
Find the water.
Yes, isn't it?
But you guys, you don't take proverbs from people.
From people.
What is your proverb?
Give us yours. Why? Give us yours.
My best of all time is my best philosopher of all time is a Tanzanian musician. He's a rapper. He's called Farid Kubanda, Feed Q, and he has a line in one of his songs. He says, "Baya lisilo ni dhuru, ni jema lisilo na faida." Do you understand that?
Oh, yeah.
Repeat again.
Like baya lisilo ni dhuru, ni jema lisilo na faida. That something bad that doesn't harm me or hurt me is something good that is not
Or has
beneficial
value. All right. Okay.
to me. So yeah.
Okay. Something that doesn't harm me.
If it's something bad, it should harm you. Because if it won't, then it would be beneficial.
It would be beneficial. Voila. It's a deep one. And thank you for sharing that. So, Nganga, we've seen you and heard you in many different spaces breaking down things into basic bite-sized form so that the people who listen to you can understand where this is all coming from. For those who don't know, what is it that you've been doing and why?
I was blessed to grow up in a very good home. I can say, like, growing up, I grew up in very good homes. A very big part of my life, I was raised by my grandfather. My grandfather went to school with the other Chief Justice. I don't know if it's the late, Ivan Gisheru. They were classmates. So I used to be told about Ivan Gisheru from morning to evening.
Yeah.
And the importance of knowing things to do with life and governance and taking the serious things serious. My father knows a lot now. My father knows a lot. Like, I grew up knowing a lot that I didn't know were important. Then also there's a certain time I stayed in Nakuru, and I was also in a very good home. They were very politically active. And then now the best of it all is when I went to Kakamega High School. I went there for high school. And the school principal there, called Mr. Oliver Sunguti Minishi, is the guy who insisted that, Nganga, you know what? Always do the serious things. So I was in drama, I was in debate, I was in journalism. I represented Kenya in Rwanda for iDebate. I won the Kenya debate contest, Great Debaters Contest. I represented Kenya against other countries in Africa, and I came back a champion. And I remember when I was leaving school, he called me and he told me, you know what, go out there and do the serious things. So, of course, when I went to campus, I was always focusing on politics, like the serious things.
Right.
So it's not by accident. I am well rooted in these things. So that's where I come from.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're breaking it down and you're letting people know that this is what this individual is supposed to do at whatever level. This is what an MCA should do. This is what a member of parliament should do. Why are those things important? People are going to the vote in another year and a half. And it seems like there's a lot of confusion around. The politics been called politricks in many cases.
Yeah.
So you're trying to sieve through the knowledge of what people should know and what they should toss aside.
First, you have to understand that we are very late. In fact, we shouldn't even go for elections in 2027. Because we are 15 years late. Remember, we used to have social, economic, political, and cultural problems for 47 years. That is since from independence up until 2010. And we decided that the only way we can chart a better way forward is to have this document, and let's call it the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, right? Then in the preamble of that constitution, I don't know if you should read it, mwisho kabisa, like the last part says that we give this constitution unto ourselves and to our future generations. Like nobody reads that. That you people were there, I was I think 14 years. It's 14. That the people who passed that constitution said we are giving it unto ourselves. So how do you give it unto yourself? You read it.
Right.
How do you give it to the future generations? Not by word of mouth. It's a written document. There are systems. There are systems that are there to ensure that a subject is taught in school. So the constitution should have been inculcated into our curriculum 15 years ago. We are in this limbo because we did not do that. You go ahead to change the system of governance, where you say now we are going to have the national government and the devolved government. But then, these people don't even know what their role is. I had a very special encounter. I was in Tanzania, and then I bumped into someone, and they asked me, of course, they were very nonchalant towards me, and I didn't know why, but he was with two other guys who were very happy to see me, and they were telling him, do you know this guy? Then he was very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Then I asked him, then we kept talking. Then he asked me, so what are you doing? Will you keep making noise? I told him, actually, you're behind. The petition, I'm taking a petition to Parliament to ensure that the Constitution is studied in school. And then he tells me the most, am I allowed to say the dumbest thing?
Go ahead.
The dumbest thing ever. He tells me that, you know, the Constitution is a parliamentary document.
Oh, Lord, no. Okay.
How will they even listen to you? And I'm like, okay. They'll just shelve it. And I'm like, okay. So I come to realize it's a CEC. But this is way later. So I just tell him, it's like 50 years, 55. So I talked to him, and I nearly leaned forward, and I told him, you know, next time, out of respect for your age, I don't know what you do and I don't know who you are, never say something so uninformed like that. Never say something so that doesn't match your dressing code. You know, like he was well dressed, but you can imagine that man still believes, and he works for the county.
That the Constitution is a parliamentary document.
He believes it's not a document that should even be handled or discussed by the people.
Yeah.
So even by their own matrix, they have failed. Right? Why do I keep insisting this? Why do I keep insisting that we should not even go for elections? It's because we have 2 teams, or 3 teams, or 4 teams who say, we want you to vote us. And then you ask them, for what? So that you do what? Oh, tumalize ufisadi, tumalize corruption, tumalize ukabila, tumalize nini. But where are those things? Hakuna ukabila Kenya. I've not seen tribalism in Kenya. It's just a construct it's a political construct, right? But then I can permit the politicians for saying that, right? But when the people don't understand why they are voting, then that is not permissible.
Do you think that the people of Kenya, to a large extent, and in terms of numbers now, population percentage, that people don't know why they are voting, that they know that elections will come on the 2nd Tuesday of August every 5 years?
Yes.
They know this in terms of a process.
Yeah.
But from what you're saying is that people don't actually know why they are going to do this. Is that what you mean?
I have gone to the most rural in Kenya, myself, and asked people, what is the role of an MP? I've asked people in Moi University, how much money has the president given the counties this year? Do you know what shocked me? That they even attempted to answer that question. And remember, these are university students who wametoka home. And where they come from, they are trusted. They are entrusted with a lot, that, these ones will give us direction. But they don't even know the president does not give money. So one said 400 billion, the other one said, and I was like, so you don't even know how money moves in this republic. You don't know who allocates what where. People say MPs do oversight. Then you ask them, what is oversight?
But can't folks be justified? We see the president doling out money. We see it happening, Muigai. We see it happening. The president does give out money. He gives money to churches. The other day, somebody talked about them. Somebody having a medical bill, and the president, according to her, gave 2 million shillings for their bill to be sorted out because Shah fell short. Schools are being built, churches are being built to the tune of 20 million shillings. You go to State House, 100 million shillings is given to teachers who showed up 10,000 in their numbers. So that person is justified in their thought. They see the president giving out money. They cannot separate between that action and the law, the Constitution. How do we help?
For Christians, the Bible says, Hosea 4:6, that my people suffer because of
Lack of
ignorance,
knowledge.
right? So that suffering is justified.
Okay.
Right?
This particular one?
Yes, it's
All
justified.
Right.
You cannot blame something that you created. What is government? It's a creation of the people through the ballot, right? So the way they are is the way we are. Ignorant people vote ignorant people who make ignorant laws with ignorant effects. Are we okay up to that?
Up to there, yeah.
We have to accept that politics has served its role in this republic and it has come to an end. That is why we are arguing about things that don't matter. 1 term, 2 term, 4 term, 5 term. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as you don't know what? The law. I don't know. I really wish people get me on this. Like, if you don't know what the role of an MCA is, go and listen to the basis upon which people have voted.
But if you're saying that the MCAs themselves don't even know what their role is, how much more then will the people of Kenya then be able to know what this person is? I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
I went to school.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm supposed to. If a member of a county assembly is unaware of what they are supposed to be doing in the role that they've been elected to then execute, and I don't even want to pass out blame here to the people. What expectation do we place on the shoulders of the people, number one, who vote them in, and then later on during their term, the expectations that they have of this individual who doesn't know his nose from another opening?
I'll answer you like this. I'll answer you with a long-lasting solution. I keep saying we have to admit that what was expected of us in the last 15 years has not happened. We have not enlightened the masses on this constitution. So they base their decisions on religious factors. People will always look for reason to do something, right?
Yep.
There are people who have voted on claims that he's a Christian. He looks like a good guy. Like others say, unajua ni kijana. All those things. There's no such a qualification in the Constitution. There's nowhere they said you'll be voted for because you are religious. But look at how the churches have been used. They have been used as a place that sanitizes leaders or prepares people for elections, you see. So what I'm trying to say is this. We have to admit that we are in a crisis, but we have a solution. The solution is the Constitution has to go to schools. We must study the Constitution the way we study any subject, just like CRE, history, physics. because it is the only document that is Kenyan made.
Muigai, I want to look at a situation where, based off what we're discussing, that the Constitution is that document that if every Kenyan understood its role, understood it inside out, perhaps we would start seeing changes, because then we would know who we are electing and why we are electing them. But on the flip side, the political class of the country understands that Kenyans have not taken interest in studying this document. And therefore, they're taking advantage of this fact to play around with our minds and ensuring that this document, as one would say, remains there preserved. Many Kenyans think it just belongs in the National Assembly. Have they understood the failures of the people to understand that this document they bequeathed themselves, that they're now playing ping pong?
This is what I'm telling you. I am very happy that's what they've been enjoying for the last 15 years. Every generation will play a certain role. There's a generation that brought us self-rule. There's a generation that brought us multi-party democracy.
Right.
There's a generation that took KANU home, but there's a stupid generation that brought KANU back. There's a stupid generation that brought KANU back. Like, you watered down what you had done away with in 2002. What was the basis of voting in 2013? Ni vijana. I was in Form 2, right? And when I was asking people now, why did you guys vote? And they're like, unajua ni vijana. It's not a qualification. Youth is not a qualification for anything. I heard that people voted Uhuru Kenyatta as a way of rewarding, celebrating his birthday.
Stop it, Muigai.
Yes, they said that we are going to vote because it's his birthday.
2017,
right? So they have enjoyed that. There's a generation that ensured that KANU went home in 2002. There's a generation that ensured that, you know what, this country will never fight again on political basis again. That decided, you know what, after 2007 to 2008, let's have a new constitution and we solve these things once and for all. Now, there's a generation that now took us back to Egypt. That the people who voted in 2013. Because look at our country. In 2013, that was 50 years since independence. What was our debt? 1.8 trillion. 2013 to now? It just hit 12 trillion, right? But the same 12 trillion cannot be felt and seen in the economy.
Okay, what would 12 trillion look like?
I'll not even go far. I'll tell you this. You are not getting me out of this. I was telling you now the role of my generation. The role of my generation is now to ensure that nobody will ever die in the streets again because of being an active citizen. Nobody will ever be abducted. Nobody will ever be arrested and charged on false grounds. The role of our generation is to ensure that the Constitution goes to school. That's the role of our generation. In fact, when you heard people saying last year that, you know, we are tribeless, fearless, leaderless, what they were simply saying is, we just care about everything working. We don't care who's in charge. And the only way you can attain that is when the Constitution, when everybody knows the Constitution. You'll vote leaders who know what is expected of them, and the people will vote knowing also what is expected of them. That, you know what, if we elect you and you go there and you don't do the work you're supposed to do, within 2 years we can recall you. You ask people, what is the process of recall in Kenya? I'm like, I'm like, it's in the Constitution. If you feel this man is not working, it's in the Constitution. So I think I needed to put that out first before you ask me anything. So what was your question?
My question was, you've talked about, you've painted a picture of where Kenya was in 2013. And where we are in terms of debt. And one would argue that if Kenyans also understood what the budget is, how much the country has collected, what 12 trillion shillings that has been borrowed, what that would look like in a country. So let's say, let's use the country's budget, 4 trillion shillings. What would that money do to the country today?
No, let's ask ourselves this. Let's ask ourselves, how did we get here? Right? I keep telling people that everything started going wrong in Kenya in 2014. The people who passed that act that allows the treasury, and you know, when you say the treasury is simply the president, because the treasury the treasury simply is the executive, right? To be able to pay suppliers without that money hitting the consolidated fund. That's where the problem was. It's like you guys, let's say we are a family here, right? And we say this is the father, this is the mother, this is the son. And we say this is our account. So everyone will work, and before we pay rent, before we buy food, before we do anything, everybody must submit their money
inside
here.
the account. Yes.
But somehow, the father goes and convinces the uncles that, you know what, I want you to talk to my family so that they allow me to be able to be paying the landlord and everyone without the money hitting the family account. Okay, they say it's fine. Then we as your family, we come to realize that these monies that you claim to be paying the landlord, so if the rent was 10K, you inflated that cost. Apparently you claim you've been paying 50K, right? So you just say, hey, I've been paying the landlord 50K every month. So you guys need to be refunding me. So we have no problem with them paying that money, 50K. The problem comes when now we have to pay it. That happened in 2014, right? And that has been happening 2014, 15, 16, 17. So when these people were campaigning, me, I was Team Raila. I was campaigning for Raila. I kept telling myself, if Raila wins, I'll believe you can lose so many times in this life and eventually win. If Ruto wins, I'll believe you can just win. And then now the elections come, and there's something that the president was preaching the whole time, that I will put money in your pockets, put money in your pockets. So me, I knew what this guy means. Section 50, subsection 7, part C and D of the Public Finance Management Act is just going to be repealed. And money is going to come to Kenya, and it's the Kenyan people who are going to be the suppliers of goods and services in the economy.
Within the country.
Yes.
The country. Sure.
I knew that was what was going to happen. And I was like, this one, he knows what he's saying. Then, of course, they go there, and they start saying empty coffers, empty coffers, empty coffers, empty coffers. But people are still giving tax. So, it means they have just continued with that system, right? It's just a regime change, but the system is still the same, serving. I can just say, like, maybe parties have changed, the beneficiaries have changed. So, because this is the guy who said he's going to fix the economy and everything, so we have to hold him accountable. Because you said A, B, C, D happened during this time and I'll fix it. And we know very well this is what you need to do to fix it. So you asked me what does 4 trillion look like. I'll tell you what 4.2 trillion looks like, because that is the money that we've given for development since 2023 up to now, right?
Yes. Okay, hold on. 4.23 trillion shillings, money given towards development since 2023, from 2023 January.
Yes.
Because, 2022 September, after the swearing in, and a couple of things happening after that, 100 days after that, we're at January 2023.
Yes.
All right, go.
So that money, when we were looking at it, we realized what was the problem. What brought maandamano last year? People were saying, wanauza airport, Adani, right? Oh, so we needed an airport. So out of this development expenditure that we have allowed them to have, we should have done an airport 1.5 times or twice JKIA at a cost of 1.1 trillion shillings. So
would have been finished.
We will have been, ingeisha tungekuwa sasa tumemaliza. Hiyo tu ndio ilikuwa issue. Okay, tungekuwa tumemaliza. Okay, what was the other issue? Tunataka tujenge mabarabara, tufanye nini? Okay, very nice. We could have done 10,000 kilometers of roads. And that means roads all over Kenya at a cost of 150 million Kenyan shillings per kilometer. So what was the other problem? Masomo, watoto wetu, we have seen, wanasomea chini ya mti. Very well. We could have done classrooms, 100,000 classrooms. Do you know what it means to have 100,000 top up?
On top of what it
On top,
already there.
it means no child in Kenya would be studying under
A
a
tree.
tree. So we could have added 100,000 classes at a cost of 1.2 million Kenyan shillings per class. What else was there? What was the other problem? Oh, tunajenga stadium. Tunafanya nini? Very well. We could have done. What is this thing that they are saying now? They were saying dams, the strategy
Yes,
of
yes.
the. We could have done 47 dams at a cost of 20 billion Kenyan shilling per dam. They are saying, oh, healthcare. Hey, we could have done 47 level 6 hospitals. That's the best hospital. Fully equipped hospitals. 47 of them.
There would be one in every county.
Yes, at a cost of 7.5 billion Kenyan shillings.
All of these things that you're talking about, 4.32 trillion shillings, is the development money that has been collected from
And allocated already.
Allocated already. But what you're saying now, essentially, is that we've not felt it. I keep saying that if you put 100 billion shillings in the economy today, somewhere,
Now,
you'll feel it,
this
right?
is where the problem comes in. The trick here is, and this is why I keep telling people, we have a very smart smart group of people running this country. But you know, the fact that you are smart does not mean you are moral. The fact that you are smart does not mean you'll be a good person, right? We equate smartness to goodness. So this is what they are focusing on. They are focusing on economic growth. Ndu, what is the difference between economic growth and economic development? This is the difference. Economic growth can be attained without the economy being driven by the people of that particular country.
So when you say that for people who don't understand what an MCA is supposed to do, how would you break that down?
Let me break it down for you. That you can see roads being constructed, you can see stadiums being built, but it is not you people doing it. The contractor, someone outside this country, the suppliers, people outside this country. I don't know if you get it.
I get it. I get what you mean. Yeah.
But for you to feel, you see that thing that you're saying, you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
That is economic development. So economic growth is measured in figures. The one that you say, you know, our economy is growing at what percent. Those are figures. True economic development is now measured in feeling. You can imagine if this 4.2 trillion was circulating in our economy. That's what we would have been feeling right now.
Okay, so let's give them some examples. Shall we
So
do
let me give you an
some of
example.
the things that we spoke about, because when you talk then about 100,000 classrooms being constructed, when you talk about roads then being, constructed and completed around the country, dams then again being constructed and completed so that people have access to water, how then would we see it? Because now economic growth is when you say we feel it. In the
economic growth we see.
Economic development, we feel it. How do we feel it?
This is how you feel it. That you abide by what the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act dictates. It dictates that for any project that's happening anywhere, 30% of goods and services are supposed to be supplied by who? The people of that.
Yeah.
The women, 30% the youth. 30% people with disability. So it means if you are seeing something, let's say you are seeing something happening in your locality, but you guys are not supplying anything. You're only supplying, what do we call, this cheap labor. Nyinyi ni watu wa mjengo, right? So let's say something is happening in Kakamega County, but the suppliers are from Nairobi County. So what does that mean? All those monies are going where?
Nairobi County.
If a road is being built in Kenya, but the contractor and the main suppliers are Chinese, where is that money going? China. So the only way you can feel it is when the contractor is Kenyan.
So let's make a direct connection.
Okay.
All right? that for the longest time they've been shouting at us, telling us, oh, TVETs, shouting and telling us that we've improved the system, we've sorted out a number of things. That means that an individual can go through a TVET and come out on the other side a professional.
Yes.
Right? We've, for the longest time, imagined that these jobs that you would get going through a TVET are for second-class citizens, whoever those may be, which I don't agree with. That because if we look at the first world, which we seem to be wanting to get to very quickly, that you can earn a living and educate your children, keep savings aside on the salary of a professional like a plumber or a mason or an electrician.
Yes.
Here, we think it's something that you can just learn on the side of the road that's not important. Now, what you're talking about is in the professional capacity through which somebody will go through and finish a diploma course and do a year of training. They can actually be the ones that work on these projects towards the growth and development of the country.
Yes.
But can we do that if we don't feed the right ingredients into the shoot? Can we do that?
Which are these right ingredients?
This TVET education that I'm talking about, who's matching skills to needs in the economy today? Who is actually having the conversation and saying, okay, these roads that we need to build, instead of going to China Road and Rail, how about we get the professionals from these TVETs that we're spending so much money that it seems that we don't have to train and educate year on end?
For that to happen,
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Renewed Molfix is now even more absorbent with double-layered upper surface. Only 20 Kenya shillings, single-piece Molfix at your duka.
I've got a plan that's so well managed. Even Snapples is considering early retirement.
ICEA Lion has a plan for everyone. ICEA Lion, what's your plan?
There's no place I'd rather be.
Recharge, upgrade, and celebrate with your loved ones. On the go, enjoy all your best shows anytime on the Star Times On app.
Absolutely amazing.
Star Times, enjoy digital life.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
These responsibilities to you to serve us. And therefore, we will push you to ensure that this article is repealed so that things are done right. Is that the way and direction that all of us should be thinking?
yes, this is what I'm telling you. The role of our generation is to identify as many problems, provide as many solutions, and take as much action. The problem is this article, this amendment that was done in 2014. That is the problem. What is the solution? Repeal it. What is the action? Call your MP and tell your MP we want that section repealed. Do not insult him. Do not do anything. We shall take that petition to Parliament.
How many people will be engaged in that space? Because this is the thing. When we look at things like public participation, when we look at things like engaging your MP, and I think this is the fundamentals that we need to be looking at. By the time we're saying, Muigai, engage your MP to repeal or to at least get onto this bandwagon of this engagement to repeal that section, right? There's the need to even it's like telling a child who's not learned ABC to read a sentence.
Thank you. That's why, after analyzing everything, I just realized, you know what? I cannot teach 54 million people. I don't want to be an activist, because activism is the reason why we have not developed in this republic. It is the reason why we are still in sustained chaos. I don't want to be an activist. I don't want to run an NGO. I don't want to do anything that, I keep saying there is nothing. The most governmental organization is an ungovernmental organization. So I don't want those things. I want to continue living my life. I want to ride my bike. I want to enjoy my life in a very simple way.
Yes.
So how do we solve all these things at once? Like the way Solomon and then Samson brought down the whole thing. He was like, just give me this strength for once. And then
I'll
bring it down.
the only way we can sort this thing is to accept that we have failed. Every other generation before the younger millennials and the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas let this country down. So what is the solution? Ensure that we take this constitution to school. It will take us 5 years to 10 years. But after that, we'll never have, and we'll never have like bad laws passing. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. This is the Constitution of Tanzania. So I carried it for purposes of proof. I can say 98% or 99% of Tanzanians don't know their constitution, right?
That's an interesting number that's been used across Tanzania.
Yeah, I know,
That's the
right?
point.
Yeah, they keep, too perfect. Eh?
Yeah.
If people don't know their law, then a few individuals use the same law to do unlawful things. I'll give you an example. What is the ruling party in Tanzania? CCM. Chama cha Mapinduzi, right? And it baffles me that you have two parties. One is called Chama cha Mapinduzi and one is called Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, and you still vote Chama cha Mapinduzi. I don't know what is this you are pinduring all the time. You have a party here that is progressive, right?
Right.
If we do not ensure that our constitution is studied in school, this is how Kenya is going to be. Now listen, in Tanzania, the president is the supreme, right?
Yes.
In Tanzania, MPs in the last parliament, 365 out of 393 belong to CCM. And right now, CCM has won by 98%, apparently. Their ministers or their CSs are appointed from
The CCM.
the CCM MPs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So I want you to listen how it goes. This is Article 5, Article 5.2. Parliament may enact law imposing conditions restricting a citizen from exercising the right to vote. So when I was reading this constitution, something interesting came up. That in this constitution of Tanzania, you can replace the word parliament, national police, president with the word CCM, and it will still make sense.
Is that say?
So it's just like saying CCM may enact a law. So this thing that we hear people saying, broad-based, sijui nini, it is taking us this way. Whereby the word parliament may as well be we just say broad-based as allowed, broad-based as allowed. So if we don't push for this constitution to be studied in school, we are going to have a parliament that does not know its role. It's going to be a conveyor.
Are going to have, but what you've said already, Muigai, that we already have members of the county assembly, members of parliament who are unaware of their role. I remember just a couple of days ago, we had a senator who said, unfortunately, we do things that we don't even know that we shouldn't be doing, or that we do not have the capacity to do, or that it is not enshrined in the Constitution that we should do. I don't think we're heading there. I think we're already there.
And that's why I'm saying that's where the solution and action part comes in.
How are you going to get people, Kenyans, to then be able to say, you know what, we've got to be a little bit more engaged in this than when a member of parliament comes back to the constituency for a wedding or a funeral? You know, how are we going to get ourselves engaged to really, really know what it means for citizen-led and centered governance?
On 4th of December this year, I'm taking the petition to Parliament. I have 22 days to go. It's a 90-day program, and we decided, because Parliament is the last day for Parliament this year, it will be 4th of December. We are taking that petition there. But you know what? It's called Samuel Njoroge, that's the clerk. Mr. Njoroge, we have brought our petition to have the constitution studied in school, and we have outlined everything, the way we want it done, how the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development will come in, how the funding will be done. We did our research well. On 5th of February next year, that's when they'll have their first session. We are pushing for that to be the first order of business in that parliament. We have time, we are unemployed, we have the energy. We'll keep coming back. So you are asking me how I'll get the people to support. This is how they'll come. We have university students, we have societies, we have different people in different areas. We have Bungela Wananchi who will show up. But we shall not wait for them to engage on this matter. That's why I'm going all over the country. When you people called me, I was in Kitale. So I traveled overnight and just came for this show.
Thanks for doing that.
So after Kitale, I'm going to Lodwar, Turkana County. We are actually doing it. But this is what I made peace with before I started it. That I could actually not get people to support me. But I am enough.
Okay.
I'll push it myself until we get other people who will. You remember Kiomtata? What did Kiomtata used to do? He would chain himself.
Yeah.
So if you know, when there's a quote that says, when people unite in truth for a just cause, miracles happen. So if we are going to unite 5 of us, 10 of us, 20 of us to ensure the constitution goes to school, then I'm going to do it.
Muigai, I look at a position where you clearly understand the power you have by understanding the constitution. You look at what Kenyans, many want to call them Gen Zs, I love calling them Kenyans, did during Finance Bill 2024, look at 2025 when during the commemoration anti-police brutality in the country. And it comes from a point where Kenyans have understood the power that they have. Now let's extrapolate that to a point.
Only way to start your day.